I'm Mara Clean, 35, a single mom to Tessa. I thought I'd already met rock bottom. I was wrong. It has a basement and it reeks of sparkling cider and betrayal. New Year's Eve at my father's house was the annual performance. TV countdown, paper crowns, noisemakers, and smiles stretched over old grudges. I kept my eyes on the clock to avoid Lydia, my stepmother, who kept sprinkling harmless comments into every pause. Who belonged at the main table, which seats were meant for real grandchildren. Tessa sat in the chair she'd used every year since she could climb into it alone, crown tilted, feet swinging under a table. I told myself to get through one more night. At 11:47 p.m., the front door opened and cold air rolled into Evan's daughter, Maisie, hurried in sidey and glittery tights, cheeks pink, thrilled she'd made it before midnight. At Lydia's face changed. She rose, crossed the room, and said loud and clear, "That seat is for my granddaughter." Tessa stared at her, confused. She started to stand, but not fast enough. Lydia grabbed the chair and yanked. Mid-daughter hit the hardwood knee first. Her crown slid away, a glass tipped, cider foaming across the white cloth, and everyone, 20 people, including my father, sat there in perfect silence. My throat burned, but I didn't speak until we were outside, air stinging lungs. I scooped Tessa up and left before the countdown could finish. At home, I cleaned the bruise, held her until she slept, then opened my desk drawer. Inside lay the black USB stick my grandmother had pressed into my hand years ago. "Keep it safe," she'd whispered. Tonight, I finally believed her. The USB clicked into my laptop. Scans opened, statements, letters, notes, my grandmother's handwriting in the margins. The word trust underlined. I told myself I'd look for 5 minutes. I stayed for hours. Transfers slid out of the beneficiary account disguised as management fees and reinvestment. Payments went to companies I didn't recognize. The balance didn't vanish in known dramatic theft. It bled year after year. An email thread sealed it. My father asking about family needs. Lydia replying, already optimized, with a spreadsheet attached. My anger cooled into a plan. The attorney's name on the oldest letters was Daniel Langford. His firm was still operating. I wrote him one careful message. Subject: questions regarding the Eleanor Klein Trust. I said I'd found historical documents and needed clarification on withdrawals and oversight. That I attached 5 files with the clearest trail and hit send at 3:17 a.m. New Year's Day. Looked harmless until my father's car pulled up. He and Lydia climbed my steps together. He was pale with fatigue. Lydia's smile was gone. "Waiting to talk about that email," my father said. Lydia cut in. "Those documents are private. You shouldn't have touched them." 20 minutes later, Evan arrived, knocking like the door had wronged him. "Mara, what are you doing?" Then the calls. Bank verification, an accountant, a supplier wanting confirmation. My living room filled with their panic. I poured coffee, answered nothing, and watched them try every angle. Loyalty, guilt, anger. By dusk, they left, promising it would be straightened out. After the lock clicked, the silence felt different. I'd crossed a line, and it didn't feel like falling. It felt like standing point. 3 weeks later, a courier dropped a thick envelope on my porch, a demand letter accusing me of defamation and interference. Lydia followed with a settlement. We can't stay quiet, and they'd keep it in the family. Evan went louder. He posted a photo from the workshop. Maisie in safety goggles, my father's hands guiding hers on a toy train. Caption: legacy. Some people choose greed. In the grocery aisle, neighbors suddenly found their carts fascinating. On a sleepless Tuesday, my phone buzzed with a name I hadn't seen in years. My cousin Granta we met at a diner off Route 7. He slid a folder across the table. "Lydia pushed me out of procurement," he said. I kept receipts. Inside were inflated invoices, shell company addresses, and emails with Lydia's clipped instructions. Root, reclassify, don't mention. 2 days after that, Daniel Langford called. His voice was calm. "Mara, the patterns are not benign, and your grandmother wrote a trigger clause. If mismanagement is verified, control transfers to you." Verification came fast once the bank froze the trust account pending review. Suppliers demanded audits. Tax investigators requested records. In a Vermont courtroom under buzzing lights, the numbers spoke louder than family restitution, penalties, an agreement that stripped Lydia of authority. Andrea stirred the trust to its terms. When I walked out into snow, my lungs hurt in the clean air. I blocked numbers. It changed locks. I took Tessa to the workshop on a quiet Saturday and let her pick a new chair for my office, one nobody could yank away. At midnight the next New Year's, we toasted with ginger soda.